Chapter 2 Mom App in Motion. When everyone left the forest, the bears returned back to the home. When Charlie came over, Grizz, Panda, and Icebell sat together on the sofa, thinking about the plan after telling Charlie their time with their friends. Canada? Charlie blinked. You three want to go there? Yes, but we still need to plan this out, Panda answered. Passports are the first goal. And taking people along, Grizz remembered. We really need to work out some of those schedules. Icebell knew he would take Chloe along, but there was one person he wanted to blame, knowing it would take weeks until he reunites with her. He made a promise to himself to show her to his brothers, but he didn't know when the time was right. Icebell, Grizz tapped on Icebell's shoulder, thinking of someone to bring along. Icebell nodded. Icebell will show you tonight. Charlie crossed his arms while looking at the ground. He wanted to come along, but at the same time, he still hasn't got over his fear of being around humans. Aren't you gonna miss me if you do go? Charlie, even if you do come along, you haven't met all of our friends, Grizz spoke. I was with a few of them when you came back. Yeah, up until you headed back to the forest, Panda recalled. I didn't have anything to do. Even when you're accepted in society, I just wanted to keep my distance from humans. I can't let go of my fear. The bears wanted to help Charlie, but they're aware how sensitive he is. Aside from Ranger tapes, they still feel unsure about helping him meet their friends one by one. We will miss you, Grizz replied. Sorry, bears, if I can figure out a way to work out my problem. It's not like you couldn't control your fear, Panda replied. I have fears I couldn't let go. As they got back to their Canada plan, there was only one way to resolve the passport problem. Do you think we need someone to help us? What do you mean? Grizz asked. Like having someone to help out with the passports, not to mention getting us in Canada. Our friends may be willing to come, but if they can't get their own passports on their own, we won't be able to have our Canada adventure. Icebell can't get through the massive barrier, Icebell commented. Grizz couldn't disagree. After the journey he and his brothers went through after being forced to leave San Francisco, they didn't want the same setback to ruin everything all over again. Then an idea came to Grizz. Panda, do you still have that mom app? Panda blinked from the idea. He took out his phone while looking at the apps until the one his brother just mentioned. Yes, he responded. I forgot to delete it. Grizz took the phone for Panda while pressing the mom app. We picked 3 moms while having one mom get punished since we couldn't cancel her. You couldn't cancel her? Charlie asked. We called her mother, but it had nothing to do with cancel culture, Panda answered. When Grizz looked through the selection of moms, up until the one he picked the last time, this could work. Grizz showing his brothers a picture of Gail. She could take care of not only our passports, but some of our friends too. Wait, should we think about this? You know she embarrassed us and she'll have to come with us. It'll be the only way to get to Canada. We can at least reason with her. She can be more than a mom. Panda and Icebell wanted to believe him, but they wished there was another way. If they had the choice of picking a different mom, they would get themselves into the same predicament as before. But they agree that out of the 3 moms they picked, Gail was the best. Okay, but there's no going back, Panda signed. Icebell prays he doesn't take violin lessons. Icebell said, taking the risk. Charlie, you need to leave right now. The moment we press the button, she'll be right at the front door. Grizz pointed at the door. Okay, Charlie makes his way to the back door of the house. Good luck with your trip to Canada. We'll find something to give you when we get back. Charlie felt a little better from the gesture before he headed out, finding a different route to prevent getting attention. Grizz pressed the button on the phone, and in no time, Gail knocked on the door. Like before, they walked up to the door as Grizz opened it, revealing Gail. "Oh, it's you boys again," she cheered. "Let's throw a party to celebrate." No, both Grizz and Panda shouted. Icebell pulled Gail inside while closing the door, placing her on the sofa. "Whoa, then we can play party video games. Maybe later, but please don't do anything." Grizz walked in front of Gail. "We support your supportiveness, but do it when we need it," Panda added, "even though that's not why we wanted you." Gail felt confused after listening to the honesty from the Bears. "Then what do you really want from me?" Grizz signed while telling the truth. "We want you to help us and our friends to get passports to Canada." Gail remained silent from the answer she received. She wasn't happy, but she wasn't mad either. All she wanted to do is support her boys, with her part of the family, while in actuality, she's only part of an app for services. "Do you love your mom?" The Bears looked at each other, not wanting to hurt her feelings. "Yes. We're doing activities in Canada. If you help us, we'll do anything to prove to you we love you," Panda replied. "Icebell won't keep moms in the dark," Icebell said. "Well, it's not that I don't like Canada, it's just doing passports is the last thing I would want to do." Gail speaking honestly. "What kind of trip would it be like in Canada?" "It'll be an adventure," Grizz coming up for the solution. "We'll maybe separate in groups, but you will have a great adventure. You can hang out with our friends. They're really fun to be around," Panda said. Gail found the idea appealing, especially with the surprises coming her way. Even a mother who takes her pride seriously is still willing to make friends if she helps coming along. She got up from the sofa, walked towards the Bears while giving them a big hug. "I love seeing my boys have their adventures," she cheered. "Even if I'm not gonna be around for all of you three, you can still tell me everything that happened." "So you're gonna help us with the passports?" Grizz wondered. "You bet I am." "Great. We're sending you to Ranger Tapes and the Puppy Rangers to help them out after we play party video games." "Oh!" As Grizz turned on his video game system, he gave Gail her controller and so did Panda. Just when he's about to give Icebell his controller, he made his way to the kitchen. "Icebell, it won't be family without you." Icebell turned around before heading into the kitchen. Icebell needs an important item before Icebell forgets. "Oh, that's right, we don't want to leave a single friend out from the adventure." "We're waiting for ya," Panda added. Icebell entered the kitchen while opening the refrigerator. He's thankful Grizz and Panda didn't find out soon, but his time ran out when the unexpected happened. He took out the necklace from someone who they forgot to bring, and Icebell kept it to himself since. He, however, doesn't know if Grizz and Panda will catch on if they meet the person, especially Chloe, who he wanted to tell her about it. He's lucky enough to get the person's phone number the last time he crossed paths, but he's unsure if the person's willing to accept the trip to Canada.